Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to Rule of Two Review. So today I'm going to do a little bit of piggybacking and actually cover something that a good friend of mine and an awesome channel you more than likely know about, OJ, who runs the channel, Player Essence, the one and only. He actually covered this a couple of days ago in a video as well, which is kind of where I first heard a lot of this information. I'm going to link Player Essence's video below, so definitely check that out if you haven't. Also, I did a little bit more research after that as well and found a pretty interesting DualShockers article that covers a lot of the same information, of which I will also link below. And what I'm talking about is one of my absolute favorite people in the video game industry, working with my absolute favorite company, and we're talking about Suda51 and what he thinks of the Nintendo Switch. So there's a couple of reasons why this is a big deal, beyond just my personal fanboy fanship of Suda51 and pretty much every game he's made that I've played, which I think is all of them. Most notably, all of us will probably remember Suda51 appearing oh so awkwardly on stage at Nintendo's Tokyo event on January 12th, which is now like a month and a half ago. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. That was, I can't believe, like 5 or 6 weeks ago. And we all know what happened. He was on that stage, and I lost my mind when I saw he was even there before he started talking. I was like, no way, this could be awesome news. And then that huge picture of just, my favorite character, Travis Touchdown, showed up behind him. I was geeking out, you guys, when that was happening. I was really geeking out. You've probably heard me talk about that before. But we all know that that played out a little bit awkwardly. Like I said, we know that the translator wasn't able to keep up. And it's since come out, even part of this interview that DualShockers and OJ was even referencing as well, the fact that he was kind of apologizing to the translator because I guess that about 80% of the teleprompter, or he was following a teleprompter and only stuck to about 80% of the script, I should say, kind of went off the rails a little bit, maybe talking a little bit fast. The translator couldn't keep up. It was all really too bad, so he apologized to that guy. But what was really interesting is he also references, again, in what you can read below, that Nintendo was very happy with basically what he did, how he was presenting himself, you know, speaking the same language. They weren't worried about the translation issue. They were just worried about how Suda was going to be presenting on stage to the Japanese audience there. And they loved it. They felt really good about what Suda was doing when he was on stage. And through this, and again, through the information, you know, one more time in OJ's video and in the article below, he discussed a lot of what's going on with Travis Touchdown and No More Heroes, his new project, what he thinks of the Switch, the fact that he wants to work with Sakurai, and that he wants what I've wanted for years, which is Travis Touchdown in Smash Brothers. So, lots of good stuff coming out of this. I mean, so excited as a Nintendo and a Suda fan to just think of more scenarios where these two entities might actually come together, Suda and Grasshopper Manufacturer and Nintendo. Of course, we have 3 beautiful examples right here of some of my absolute favorite video game experiences ever created. Killer 7 for a long time was actually my favorite ending to a video game for pretty much ever. So we've seen it work out very well in the cult classic, culty kind of video game form. And now that the Switch is coming out, and Suda was on stage in Tokyo, and then, of course, this interview reflected in these things below has actually happened, the thing that gets me the most excited is that Suda really seems to believe in Travis Touchdown's return, which, just blanket statement, the idea of Travis coming back in any video game on any platform just makes me tingle with joy and excitement, you guys, when I think about that happening. But the fact that this all seems to be centered around Nintendo and the Switch, on stage at the Tokyo event talking about it, being interviewed by DualShockers, or I think it was DualShockers, or maybe it was actually somebody else interviewing. DualShockers had the article. Doing this interview, regardless of who it was with, discussing the Nintendo Switch and Travis and this new project being on the Switch. It's really exciting. What's interesting is, obviously, the first thing we all want to think of is, well, this is No More Heroes 3, right? That has to be what Suda's talking about. And when you look at the information, you read what is in this article and watch the other video, you kind of realize that it's never really explicitly said that it's Travis Touchdown's new story and adventure. It's not ever referred to as No More Heroes or No More Heroes 3. It's just a new project that Suda is working on, and then some more information about Travis basically being involved. It's very interesting and a little bit cryptic, but it could be something where there's a new project he's making that is basically for the Switch. That part is at least basically confirmed through this information. And then Travis Touchdown might be appearing in this game, or might also have a game, in which case Suda and Grasshopper might be working on one brand new Nintendo Switch game, and then potentially a new No More Heroes game for the Switch as well. what I would think would be happening if that's the case is we might have that brand new game, that new project that he refers to, if they're different entities, of course. That might be a multi-platform game, whereas with any luck, No More Heroes 3, if in fact that's what's also happening, this new game with Travis, what else would it be, would hopefully and very potentially be exclusive to the Nintendo Switch. Of course, this is all speculation on my part. I'm just geeking out over this information. I've been doing it since Travis Touchdown and Suda showed up at the Tokyo event a couple of weeks ago, and now that this new interview and information has come out, it's like rekindling the fire of excitement within me, and hopefully a lot of you guys who might be Suda fans or No More Heroes fans. It has a very strong, awesome cult following, obviously mostly on Nintendo platforms. They did do the Heroes Paradise HD remake on the PS3 when the move came out of the first game, and I really want to own that. I regret the fact that I never went out of my way to purchase it. Even though I never had a move controller, I kind of want it for collector's sake. It's supposed to be okay, but of course the visuals look really good. But that HD remake aside, it really is a Nintendo property, Nintendo franchise, at least in spirit, because that's kind of what these first two games released on. And now that we have Suda talking about it, and of course some of the other things he talks about, by the way, segue, is he discusses the Joy-Cons and how excited he is for that technology. And I love when a quirky and inventive developer and director within the game industry talks about new tech and talks about Nintendo's new tech and the fact that they're interested in them, because then you start to realize this. I've said this before about like the gamepad and the Wii remote and stuff. Like, these are tools that Nintendo kind of presents to developers to come up with imaginative, new, creative ways to play games, to make games, to interact with games. And with the gamepad and the Wii U, obviously, I think that the third-party side of the gaming industry almost entirely shat the bed and missed an opportunity there. Yes, the gamepad wasn't like the best fully realized version of what Nintendo was trying to do, but I think there was enough good stuff that more developers could have done more. Now, I'm so excited about the Joy-Cons and the HD Rumble. You've heard me talk about it. I've used these controllers and played them in person. It is such cool technology, and I think that when I hear that Nintendo is doing stuff with the Joy-Cons, and I hear someone as great as Suda is like, I love these Joy-Cons, and I think about how they could work in a brand new Travis Touchdown adventure, which is what he talks about in this article, using those to shake up the beam katana just like you did on the first two. That gets me excited, because it's these kind of inventive and creative types in the industry that I want using Nintendo's inventive and creative new ways to interact with games. I mean, the cool technology in something like the Joy-Cons, I don't think should go to waste. I really hope Nintendo doesn't waste them like they kind of did with the gamepad. I don't think they will, but also these other companies and entities outside of Nintendo, I want them to deliver, and I believe that Suda could be the kind of man to really make it work. And the fact that he's excited about the Joy-Cons and the HD Rumble, all combined with the new Travis Touchdown experience, forget about it, you guys. I'm in heaven at the mere thought, the mere prospect of all of this great stuff happening. So we don't quite yet know what's going to happen with the Travis Touchdown thing, with the new No More Heroes, with this new project. Maybe they're all the same thing. Like I said, for all we know, they could all in some weird way be the same thing, and it's a new game that's not No More Heroes, but in some kooky way happens to feature Travis Touchdown. Now, for what it's worth, lastly, there was a couple of other really fun things in this article. The main thing was him talking about working with Masahiro Sakurai, the man himself, of course responsible for Super Smash Bros., and he wants to work with him on some kind of game. And it's just kind of interesting, because apparently they know each other. I've met and probably discussed a lot of ideas throughout the years, of course, prolific guys within the industry and from the same territory, of course. And the fact that he obviously gets along with Sakurai, seems to be very influenced by him and really admires him and his talent and wants to do something with him is so cool, you guys. I mean, that's when we can really start to see the creative third-party side start to really get involved with Nintendo on the first-party front, because as far as I know, Sakurai could and would only ever work for Nintendo. I believe he is essentially a Nintendo employee. I could be wrong, or that could be right. If you guys know the exact details, which a lot of you probably do, you should tell me and correct me below if in fact I'm wrong. But as far as I know, he only could ever work for and or make games for a Nintendo platform. And so if Suda's interested in working with Sakurai, and he loves Smash Brothers, and he admires the talent he has, What does that mean? It could mean more crazy, wacky, awesome Suda and Grasshopper stuff coming to Nintendo consoles and the Switch. And it's just really exciting. And he wants Travis Touchdown in Smash Brothers. I mean, come on. When they did the Smash Brothers ballot, whatever, 2 years ago now that was, probably, maybe it was about a year and a half ago. Anyway, when they did that, that was all I ever voted for, man, was Travis Touchdown. And I knew it was, like, not gonna happen. I knew it was a long shot, but I had to just go with my heart, man. And that's just what I felt, what I believed in, what I wanted to happen. And Suda basically says here that he's been wanting Travis in Smash for a long time, probably since the first game, which was 2007, I believe. 10 years ago. He's been saying, hey, I really hope that Travis gets in the Smash Brothers game, and it's yet to happen. But now that we're kind of in the era of DLC and the ability to patch and add content to games, and we've seen Nintendo take huge advantage of that specifically with Smash Brothers, obviously we live in a world where I think Travis could very easily and is likely to show up in the next Smash Brothers game. Whether he's there as a beginning roster character or somebody downloadable later for a couple of bucks, I don't even care. Give me like a Santa Destroy background map, you know, to fight on, and give me Travis Touchdown. Oh my god, that'd be so freaking cool. So lots of Nintendo and Suda love happening right now is basically what's going on. So again, I implore you to please check out OJ and Player Essence's video. He does a great breakdown. He's much better at like the news delivery portion. I usually do long form convo about like one thing, but OJ is like, he's the news presenter guy, so he's going to really give you a faster summation of the details in news format form, and it's really, really good stuff. And of course, feel free to read the article below. It's a really great DualShockers article. If you really want the deets on what's happening with all the Suda Nintendo Sakurai stuff, it's weird, but man, I feel like Travis Touchdown and No More Heroes is imminent to make an awesome return, and it's going to all be on the Switch, and man, it's going to be so great. So that's it, guys. I've got to contain my excitement and wrap this video up, but I have to say, it's a really cool thing, man. What do you guys think about this? Are you No More Heroes fans? Are you Travis Touchdowns fans or Suda fans? Do you not know or not familiar with any of those things? And if not, you gotta fix that immediately. Definitely check out all that stuff. But what do you think? Is this exciting, cool stuff, or is it just kind of not really important to you? And I would have to think if it's not important to you, you might not have watched the video. So if you're watching, hopefully that means you like Suda and you like Travis just like I do. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks, of course, for tuning in. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I will catch you guys next time on another video.